hang on. We just got a management that we are inviting right now. Gokuldas Exports. They posted a mixed set of numbers in a seasonally weak quarter. Revenue jumped up, margins contracted a wee bit. Mr. Ramkrishnan Ganapathy, the MD at the company, joins us. Hi, Mr. Ganapathy. Good morning and season's greetings as well. I hope you had a good Diwali. Well, let's focus on the past quarter's numbers. First, they look pretty good. But my question to you is, in the quarter 3 of the last year, there was some inventory that would be lying with some of your clients. And that's what could put a bit of a cap on revenue for their third quarter. So could you give us a sense whether on a sequential basis we should work with, say, a 7 to 8% decline on revenues? Is that correct? And on a year-on-year basis, will the revenue number be more or less flattish at around 530 crores in quarter 3?
Okay, good question. So quarter 3 is going to be a quarter to watch. Globally, there is a lot of things going on. There are headwinds in Europe, headwinds in US, and headwinds in China as well, where retail sales is not so great. But the good news is, so far, the US market has held reasonably well. If you look at all the data till August, which is available publicly, retail sales data, retail e-commerce data, it has held up very well. Even the back-to-school season has held up well. So this year, 22 calendar has been better than 21 calendar so far. The key to watch is how does the holiday season sale, which is from Thanksgiving to Christmas, that sale happens. If that happens, I think the buyer sentiment will be strong and people will start buying again. As far as our quarter 3 is concerned, we anticipate, for sure, flat growth from last year. That's the area we're working on, and hopefully, if we are able to do it, we'll see if we can even post a growth over last year.
Okay, all right.
As far as the year is concerned, we are very confident that we should have a good growth this year over last year.
Oh, all right, a good growth, sir. That will be obvious because you've done so well in the start itself. But what do you end this year with in terms of a revenue number? Could you give us a sense out there? Will it be 2,200 crores, 2,300 crores odd? Point number one. And also, since the quarter is going to be a flattish quarter, say you do around 530 crores in quarter 3, what does that mean for margins? They are holding, as per our calculations, around 11.8%. You all calculated with other income. So on both these two factors.
So we will hold the margins, around that percentage. And for the year also, the numbers that you indicate, I think we should be able to do it comfortably.
Okay. Mr. Sivaramakrishnan, earlier you had told us that people had over-ordered in the previous season,
yes,
and therefore you would be stuck. But your second quarter numbers are very good. So
yes,
did you overestimate the problem? And secondly, are you expecting any reduction because of the onsetting recession, or so we are told?
Okay, so we did not overestimate the problem. I think we overcorrected for the problem. So once the problem was identified, we worked hard to make sure that we are able to offset the negative overhang of the inventory. The second point was the excess inventory was more in knits and other commodity products. We make very specialized woven products. So in fashion area, we still found the demand reasonably resilient. So we had that good fortune of being in the right product segment, and we continue to focus on that.
Okay. And any recessionary impact, impact of recession in the forthcoming orders?
So my sense is let's look, with just the quarter ahead. That's the fourth quarter. That is when we will be producing for summer of 23. Due to global warming, summers have been warm and summers have been long. That was the case in 22, and we don't anticipate any different 2023 as well. So if that is the case, then the demand for summer products should be reasonably robust. Okay. And we anticipate that for Q4, the demand should come back. The only point that we need to note here is the sentiment. So if the sentiment if the holiday season sales don't do as well, then sentimentally people will slow down buying. So we just hope that this holiday season sales do well, in which case I think we should start seeing an uptick from the quarter ahead onwards.
Actually, Mr. Ganapathy, the last time when we spoke with you, you also indicated that there is a big shift that's taking place from China to India because of a low-cost structure. So can you tell us how much of that could benefit you? And what kind of long-term opportunity do you see? What could the sustainable long-term growth be?
Oh, it will be tremendous because cost structures in China are high. The geopolitical situation means that people are definitely and aggressively looking at alternate sourcing. So there is considerable, opportunity being scoured by the large brands, particularly the Americans, less so the Europeans, to look at alternate sourcing from India. We have seen several such situations where customers have come and asked for orders which are hitherto being placed in China. So that trend will continue.
So this capacity addition that you're doing that will end in FY23, is that taking into consideration this incremental orders that perhaps you could benefit from? Or do you think at some point in time you'll have to put some more capacity on board?
No. So we are building the capacity in anticipation of certain orders. Obviously, if the growth exceeds our expectation, we will not shy away from putting in more capacity.
Okay, all
So,
right.
Sivaramakrishna, there is a bit of a inability on my part to gel your performance with the macro numbers. The September exports showed a 33% fall in cotton, in textile exports. Cotton yarn, fabs, made-ups, handloom products. And even in man-made fabs and made-ups, it was a fall, a contraction of 4%. April, September also in cotton, if you looked at the 6 months, it was a fall, contraction of 16%. So where is this falling? Are you in an outlier?
Okay, so if you look at apparel sales for the second quarter, that is July over September, our apparel exports fell by 6.3% YOY. Against that, we have grown by 29%. So it's one of the reasons is that large players who are able to deliver consistently, we are able to seek orders from and take away orders from competing countries. So we have more or less bucked the trend and carved out a space for ourselves.
All right, Mr. Ganapathy, the halfway mark, you've already done 1,200 crores. So I asked you about 2,200, 2,300. Will it be better than that? It should be, right? What do you end this year with, first of all?
So I don't want to go out on a limb and commit a number, but we are definitely in that upper end of that range that you said.
So leaning to around 2,300 crores is what we'll take. You're given us a band, but leaning towards 2,300 crores is what we are working with. That'll be fair, right?
Yep.
But why can't you do better, sir? If it is 1,200 in the first half, can't you do 1,200 in the second half?
The thing to watch out is just the recessionary trends and the tough market conditions. There are so many imponderables which are way beyond our ability to forecast for now, right?
All right.
That's the thing.
Okay, Mr. Ganapathy, very quickly, we would feel that we have an Indian origin head now in the UK, and that FTA is something that you all were waiting for. I think that currently the UK accounts only for around 1% of your revenues. Say if that gets passed, then do you believe there's a huge scope for business out here? And
I strongly believe so. Most of the UK-based retailers are sourcing considerably from China and Bangladesh. Now, the cost delta between us and China, once the FTA comes in, will be another 10%. So that itself will propel more movement of sourcing from India. Bangladesh also, UK sources about 3.5-4 billion compared to say $1 billion from India. So there is net significant order movement which can happen towards India. I would say of the order of $1 billion, and which means that the larger players can be a beneficiary of the FTA.
Okay, so putting all of this together, do you think that this 280 crore capex plan that you have between FY23 and FY24, do you think you can perhaps scale it up? What are you looking at, if at all, in terms of fresh capex that you plan to put on board?
No, so for now we are holding the capex at that level. We will see how the situation unravels over the next quarter, next half year or so, the global macroeconomic situation. If, let us say, the US faces a mild recession and moves on, it will be great. Then I think we will reconsider further capex. So we're not toning down our capex. We are not planning additional capex. This itself is a good amount from an expansion standpoint at the moment.
Okay, Mr. Sivaramakrishnan, we'll leave it at that. Many congratulations for a good performance and all the best for 23.